Happy 4th of July, Cowboy Nation. Hope all is well with you guys. Hey, listen, this is Making Sense, Roast Star Sports. Subscribe to the channel and like the content. So, listen, we have some, I would say, speculation. I would say reaching points. But nonetheless, it is Cowboys news. And any news that I come across, I'm going to present it to you guys. You've heard the old saying that says that where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know if this is true, if there's any validity to it, but I just uh, came across some information that says that Jerry Jones selling the Cowboys to Saudi Arabia. Um, this came from the FS1 host, Bombastic. Craig Carton has been in the news in speculation for a whole lot of things. It says that he was sentenced back in 2019 for fraud in order to pay back 4.8 million. Um, it's in other words, this guy has been discredited multiple times for what he claimed would happen, supposed to happen on multiple accounts, but it never materialized. So, you remember some years ago, Jerry Jones did allude to that he would sell the team for I think about what $9 billion, but then he quickly changed it and said that 9 or 10 billion. That he quickly changed it and said that he would never sell the team. So here we are again, back at this forefront one more time. Whether it is true or not, I don't know. But nonetheless, it is news. It has Jerry Jones written over it in terms of what Jerry would do because, Jerry Jones considers himself a businessman. And let's read some of the highlights of this article. Says here that don't look now, but no, we don't read that, but he has nothing to do with this. Because on the TV network Wednesday morning, host Craig Carton, without of actual reporting of shred of facts checking, was announced to his viewers that Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is not preparing his team to win this season. Now I'm a little I am a little in agreement to that particular point because of what Jerry Jones is doing. To me, I'm still trying to wrap my head around all in as relates to Jerry. I'm trying to wrap my head around all in. And he hasn't solidified all in. He hasn't taken care of Dak Prescott. He hasn't taken care of CeeDee Lamb. He hasn't taken care of Micah. Who has he brought in? Now, I am happy that he brought Zeke back. But who has he really brought in to say that he's all in? Just an observation. But he says he's not preparing his team to win this season, but instead making moves behind the scenes to sell America's team to a group of investors in Saudi Arabia. Now, here's one fact. For whatever reason, the United States, or let's say we are now being Saudi Arabia is a major attraction to the United States, especially as relates to professional boxing. A lot of the fights, so I think, have been held in Saudi Arabia. So, having said that, from a business perspective, it is not total far-fetched, although I'm still not in the believing of it, but it still is far-fetched for me. But it's not out of the idea or the frame of work that Jerry Jones has presented to us of his business dealings. Remember, he went for broke to get the team, so to set his family up, we'll see. But he says that I think they're going to sell the team. Carton said of Jerry and Stephen Jones. I would not be surprised if we start hearing rumblings that Jerry Jones is going to hedge fund in Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi trying to find the suitor to give him the largest check ever given to the owner of a North America sports franchise. Now, also, remember Jerry Jones's family history. Their history is in the oil business. Okay, their history is in the oil business, and they're money chasers. Let's throw that out there as well. Still, I'm not bought. I'm not sold on the idea, but there's something in the back of my mind that wants to pay attention to this. So, but we know, but listening to the reports, you know that this guy who is reporting this has been shisty. He's been tricky. It says Carton is tricky with his use of words to hedge his bets on such a bold proclamation, saying, "I think I would not be surprised," takes him off the hook for if when his irrational predictions never materializes. However, his authoritative voice and incredible platform presents the illusion that he is substance to back up his splash. That he has substance to back up his splash. So this is the idea that where there is smoke, there is fire. It didn't just come out the woodworks. It didn't just come out the air. You know, it didn't just come from nowhere. Something was said, something was alluded to, somebody is talking. And, you know, I've said it before in one of my podcasts that I just don't see Jerry Jones putting forth the effort for to win. Listen, everybody asks me about what do I think the Dallas Cowboys record is going to be. I still don't know what their record is going to be. I don't know. I just don't know. They could go 1-15. I don't know. You know, it's up in the air. You know, because Jerry Jones has been so unbalanced. He has been so abnormal in the ways and the things that he normally does that, you know, it makes you wonder what is about to take place. Now, keep this in mind also. He's still under investigation with the NFL. Still under investigation with the NFL. And that has not been brought to the light. That hasn't been talked about, spoken of. And to sell the team, if these findings are true on what they're investigating him on, who knows? He may take the leap to just sell it. And maybe this is what the riffraff is regarding he and Stephen Jones, because they have, as of late, been at odds with each other. It's been heated in the household of the Dallas Cowboys owners. But getting back to this Carton guy, He said at this point, it seems only fair to remind that in 2019, Carlton was sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison for fraud in order to pay back 4.8 million to his investor victims. Aheem, I would not be surprised if he and Bayless don't believe a single syllable they spew on FS1, but rather are merely WWE actors playing roles for paychecks. Now, let's keep in mind that Mike Fish, has poked holes all in Stephen A. Smith's "You Understand Me" behind. He's a fraud. He doesn't know what he says he knows, and Mike Fisher has openly criticized Skip Bayless on his reports and his affiliation deeply with the Dallas Cowboys. So let's keep that in mind also. And I believe what Fish says. Whatever Fish says, I believe it. He goes the extra mile. He is embedded. He is in depth with what Dallas is doing. He is astute to the information that he has come across. So definitely, Mike Fisher is on point as it relates to Skip Bayless. I think they're streamlining their finances. I think they're shredding salaries. They're not acting like a family that is trying to win. This is what Carlton is alluding to. But this wasn't an off-the-cuff opinion by Carlton. He amplified his Jerry is selling the Cowboys rant by saying, I don't think they're into it anymore. And I believe that. That part I do believe. I believe that. I don't think they're into it anymore. I don't think they're committed to putting a championship product on the field. And I think Jerry Jones, at 80 something years old, would rather give his kids a check for a couple $1 billion and wish them well rather than deal with a failing football team that he would leave to them to make it even worse. This guy may have done a lot of things, but there's some validity in a lot of what he is saying here. And I've said it before I even come across this, that Jerry Jones just doesn't seem motivated to do this, to be all in the way he says that he's all in, because we are still wording, and we're in the pre-training camp phase of football, and Jerry Jones is still giving us nothing in terms of all in. Okay. He says, if you ever spent a day with Jerry Jones, I would not be surprised if Carlton hasn't. You'd understand how preposterous this stance is. Yes, he'll be 82 in October. Yes, the Cowboys haven't been to an NFC championship game since 1995. And yes, he's already cemented his legacy in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yes, all those check marks, yes. But Jerry is a football football lifer. He's not simply an investor looking to make a buck. That I have a problem with. I don't believe that. Jerry Jones is going to always protect his bottom line. That's just the bottom line. Always, always, always. He says he's a former football player and legendary NFL figure trying to enhance his legacy, invested and involved. If anything, the main critics of him is and always has been that he's too involved. That may be to an extent now. We used to say that Jerry Jones is always involved, and to an extent he is still involved, but he is not overly involved as he used to be. Listen, a lot of players these days are now retiring early. They're not even giving the NFL teams, professional basketball teams, an opportunity to even build a championship team based on longevity or long play. With that being said, there's a revolving door that is taking place within the NFL and the NBA that they haven't seen before. And if that is the way or the movement that is taking place in sports, then trust me, don't be surprised if the owners are now saying bye-bye to the sport and going off into a loftier life of expectation or living based upon a lucrative gain. Trust that. Trust that. Winning another Super Bowl his way is his life mission. Carlton thinks Jerry is salivating for a big plate, a big payday. Newsflash: Jerry Jones is already worth $14.5 billion. He could spend $2 million a day every day and not run out of money until he's 100 years old. Now that may be true. That may be true. 2 years ago, our Mike Fisher interviewed Jerry Jones about $9 billion valuation of the Cowboys as the sports richest sports team. Actually, Jones said more than $10 billion. But let me make this very clear. I'll say it definitely. I will never do it. I will never sell the Cowboys ever. This is what he is saying. I heard that before. Heard Jerry Jones say that time and time again before, that he'll never sell the team. I believe, I would not be surprised that Craig Carlton knows all about performance arts and TV theatrics and diddy squat about Jerry Jones and the inner works of the Dallas Cowboys. This is by Rich Witt is bringing forth this article based upon what Carlton has said on FS1. He and Skip Bayless. I would dare say that once again, I've said it earlier that where there's smoke, there is fire. I'm not saying it's totally true. I'm not saying that Witt doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not saying that Carlton doesn't know what he's talking about. But what I do know is what we are seeing. We've never seen the Dallas Cowboys be this dysfunctional in all of my knowing the Cowboys in 54 years. I've never seen the Dallas Cowboys be this dysfunctional. Whether it's in the office, I've never heard Tex Schramm and Tom Landry getting into a battle or debate about the team. I've never heard Tex Schramm's family being dysfunctional in the day-to-day activities, over the day-to-day activities of the Dallas Cowboys. I've never heard that before. But we have heard Jerry, Barry Switzer. We've heard Jerry, Bill Parcells, goes on and on and on and on and on about Jerry. And now Jerry and Mike McCarthy, now Jerry and Stephen Jones. And that's the part right there that really causes me to wonder what's happening with our Dallas Cowboys in ownership. Because we've never heard Jerry. We've heard Jerry and Stephen have disagreements. We've never had any kind of stories or information about Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones heated, and the Dallas Cowboys are looking dysfunctional. We've never heard that before. Well, that's my take. I'm going to come back this evening, and we're going to talk about more football and more news about the Dallas Cowboys, including CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott's contract, and what is Michael Parsons doing? And Michael Parsons and Malik Hooker. A lot of information, man. A lot of information. What are Dallas Cowboys doing, man? What are they doing? Things that make you say, Roadstar Sports reporting to you on 4th of July, Independence Day. Making sense. How about them Cowboys?